I'm a biker, true and proud, ride an iron horse that's free and wild. A biker, true and proud, admitting I'm scared is not allowed. I may not look so mean and tough, but let me tell you, sir, I'm no powder puff. What it takes to ride, well, I got the stuff. I got what it takes to ride. Got what it takes to ride. Got what it takes to welcome back to It's Never Too Late, where we believe it's never too late to live your dreams, have some fun, or start something new. Yes.
Like going to Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras. Happy Fat Tuesday, everybody. Happy Mardi Gras. Curtis brought me this back when he went one time on a trip without me. Believe it, he went on a trip without me.
Hey, I have other friends too, you know.
Yeah, so we're celebrating a little bit here for Mardi Gras. We understand they're doing something different this year in New Orleans. They're gonna
decorate the houses if people are coming to visit.
Yeah, so that's going to be the floats will be the houses, and the people will go around to the float. I thought that was a cute idea. Why not?
Well, it's something different. At least they're having a Mardi Gras of some sort.
Yeah,
but it's nothing like the real Mardi Gras. With the floats going down and throwing the beads and it's just what a great time.
Yeah, he went. He said it was nuts. He said it was crazy. Well, God willing, maybe next year we'll take a ride there.
I just found out too that they closed the bar that I was hanging out in. It was perfect. There was the bar was here, the door was right there. You could see everything going on in the street. It was just.
Didn't you have like a balcony to overlook? Like
that was later on. We got tickets to go onto the balcony. That's an experience.
All right, so you have to take me next time. Next time we'll go.
Anyway,
in the meantime, we left off on our cross country honeymoon trip last week. And we were just about
Arizona,
yeah, just got to Sedona. I had heard about Sedona. A woman I know went there, and she said she fell in love with it. She packed up her house, her business, and moved out there. So we said, well, we have to stop and see what the to-do is about. And they have energy vortexes there. And there are a lot of places where you can meditate. That's me. Curtis got a picture of me by a little river there. And it's all red sandstone. And they have these places where energy on the planet can be felt stronger. So you put intentions when you go there, and it goes into the universe even stronger. It was a very cool place to go. And what do we bring back? A little piece of juniper, I think. Juniper?
Oh,
I think it was.
We got something from everywhere.
Yeah,
I know we stopped at the Harley dealer, which was on the second floor. They don't actually sell motorcycles there.
No, just.
But I got a T-shirt.
The T-shirt. I got to get a T-shirt, right?
Yep.
So that picture that was just up, that is a Chapel of the Holy Cross. It is a really famous church in Sedona. They built it into the side of one of the red sandstone mountains. It won all kinds of architectural awards, and we went to see it. And then when you go inside, the view is spectacular, and you see the mountains in the background. It's just
the picture doesn't really do any justice.
No, as with all the pictures, you don't get the dimension of it. But it was a really, really special place to visit. It's called Chapel of the Holy Cross. And then the next place, we were on a road, and Curtis all of a sudden said, wait a minute, we got to turn off here. And there was no sign for it. He happened to see these 10 Cadillacs.
And you guys know what road that is.
Stuck in the ground. We're going to do a tribute to the Mother Road. And it's called Cadillac Ranch. And I had heard about it. I had seen it on TV. What they did was back in 1974, they took 10 Cadillacs, these art hippies, and they buried them in the ground, nose front. And they're all at the same angle, and they were all different years. I think they date back to 1947. And over the years, of course, people started to, take things and graffiti them and take things off of them. So now it became a thing. When you go there, you have to graffiti it, which won't last too long because someone will come by next and they'll graffiti right over what you put. But it's just a really cool place. I wish they had left the Cadillacs intact.
Oh, they were pristine when they went in.
That would have been amazing. But right now, it's a tourist thing. If you happen to be on Route, I think it's 41, the highway, you'll see it. And luckily,
well, you might see it.
You might see it.
I just happened to glance over and see it.
Yeah, there's no sign for it.
And we were on the new Route 66, which was an interstate now.
Interstate, I think it's 41.
Yeah, and I just happened to see it. I saw a bunch of cars pulled over on the side, and I looked beyond them. And I saw these tiny little Cadillacs.
And I just
So I
followed.
knew exactly what it was.
I had no idea where he was going, right? And then when I saw them in the background, I knew what it was. So that was pretty cool. And we'll talk about the road we were on in just a few minutes. First, we want to show you in Arizona and New Mexico, they have a lot of fluorescent minerals. And this kind of looks like a Flintstones place, right?
It's actually a cave.
It's a cave. And in there is a little museum of all of the glow-in-the-dark rocks that they have there. They're fluorescent minerals, all different colors. You could spend, I mean, you could be in there for an hour or two just looking at these rocks. They're amazing. And they're all throughout Arizona and New Mexico.
They had fossils there of dinosaurs too.
They had the fossils.
And they showed you what part of the mountain that they came out, because back in Arizona and New Mexico and that whole area, when you look at the mountains, it's all in layers. You can see the layers. And they'll tell you what layer they came out of. It's really fascinating.
And they have pteroglyphs instead of hieroglyphics. It's pteroglyphics, which is they, instead of painting it on the stones, they actually etch it in. And we got to see that. I think it was in Utah right before we got there. So that was a pretty cool thing to see. So now for our tribute to the Mother Road. The Mother Road, of course, is Route 66. It stretches from Chicago to San Bernardino, I believe. And it was the road back in the day, back in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. You would take Route 66, and they had all those kind of restaurants and hotels, very 50s looking, which back then was very kind of like Jetsons. It was very modern architecture at the time, and there are still very few of those little restaurants left, unfortunately, because Route 66, if you look at it now, it's in pieces. That's just a skeleton of a hotel, of a motel. And you can see the sign is taken out, and it's kind of very sad. Route 66 doesn't really exist anymore. It's in pieces. You'll find little bits of it, and you'll be riding on it, and then all of a sudden the road will just end. It'll just end, and you have to back up and get back onto the highway to find another piece of it, and it could take you weeks to get through Route 66. We were really saddened to see such a beautiful old road in that kind of disrepair, and all those little shops, all the motels, all the restaurants, most of them all had to close when the highway went in.
This one was still open.
That one was still open. And we just happened to get onto Route 66 at the midpoint, which is Adrian, Texas. And it's so vacant. You can see the Route 66 sign on the road. It's so vacant. You can just stop in the middle of the road.
As we did.
and take a picture, because almost nobody's on the road. And we just happened to wander on it in that spot. And that spot is really, really special. Adrian, Texas, the midway point between Chicago and Los Angeles. I think
it says right there, 1,139 miles
each way. So we were like, oh, this is great. Well, we'll show them the mugs.
Right.
We'll show them the mugs. So we got there, and what we found out was that if you've ever seen the cartoon movie The Cars, it is all about this section of Route 66. And as we said, the highway was, when that came in, all the little shops and restaurants and motels, everything along Route 66, most of it died. And that is a little cafe that's left in Adrian, Texas. And we had, like, you can see us holding the mugs here. We'll show the mugs. There are our mugs. We still have them from that day when we bought our mugs in Adrian, Texas. And that's a little cafe that's still open. And if you saw the movie Cars, and I'm going to show you a postcard, if you can make this out, I don't know if it comes through or not, but it's got the car there. And it's got the little, I don't know if it's too shiny too much. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
That's the car. And it's autographed by Fran. Now, in the movie, that little cafe is owned by Flo, but the real woman's name is Fran, and it's the son. Now it's the son.
We met her.
We met her. She was so sweet. She runs the Sunflower Gift Shop, which we have a picture of the outside. It used to be a gas station, and she turned it into a gift shop. And this is what inspired the movie Cars, about how sad they are that no one comes and sees them anymore because they built the highway.
Now that's a pickup truck, as you can see, but in the movie, that's Maida, and Maida is a tow truck. So this truck, she used to deliver lunch to the big farms, and they'd have to call and tell her what section of the farm they were on. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to find them. The farms are huge, hundreds and hundreds of acres.
And that's how she would feed the farmers because it was too far for them to go. So she actually used that truck to deliver food to the farmers and the ranchers who were working in that area. And look, they put the eyeballs in it to make it look more like Mater. And the tradition is, as with Cadillac Ranch, you've got to sign the car. So there we are, Maureen and Curtis on our 2015 honeymoon. And it's probably been painted over by now. It's a little piece of history and a little piece of movie trivia. That's what the movie is about, that little town. It's adorable. And if you are anywhere in that area, go check out Adrian, Texas.
Oh, watch the movie anyway. It's a fun movie.
It's a fun movie.
And then you get to know a little bit about that town.
Yep. Yeah. And when we continued on, that was inside. That's like my mug. That's the insignia.
That's the diner.
Mug.
They
That's
had
the diner.
Elvis pie.
Yeah.
What is that? Peanut butter, banana pie, cream pie. Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah, he likes peanut butter. He had to have an Elvis pie. I forget what I had. I don't remember.
Oh, I
Apple pie
remember
or
that.
something. I don't remember. But he remembers the Elvis pie. The people there are really, really, really nice. And then when we continued on Route 66, we went into Oklahoma, and Oklahoma has the Route 66 National Museum. This place is fabulous. They have an inside part and an outside part. And when you go inside, they actually have this one thing. It's kind of in one big circle, and you can walk around, and it has cars. As back in the day, right there, they would travel along, families would travel along the road, and they have pictures of what they might see, farmland, and you can walk around like you're walking on the road. And they'd have old-fashioned, like when the
like the place was frozen in time.
yeah, it was like in the movie Grapes of Wrath, when it was the Depression, and they would take these little flivver cars and they would drive and look for work. And it's just this big piece of Americana to go see this. And they had an outdoor part of the museum too, where they would show you the old water pumps. It looks like a little windmill.
Looks like a windmill. That's actually a water pump, right?
And they had a whole outdoor section of all different kinds of water pumps like that. And they also had indoors. They had tractors. They had
farm equipment,
all kinds of
bicycles, motorcycles. They had everything.
They had everything there.
Amazing.
And they had my little favorite, the washing machines.
Oh yeah.
How great is that with the ringers? And
so you ladies who complain about doing the laundry, even you guys complain about doing the laundry, you got some beautiful machines to do today.
yeah,
Electronically controlled.
yeah, absolutely.
Try using one of those things just to figure out how they work.
And they were lucky. They were thinking, this is great. We don't have to use the washboard anymore. So if you had a washing machine, that was like big news. Except those things, I think, as they vibrated so much, they would kind of like go across the floor, didn't they? Those.
Yeah. Some of them.
Yeah. So Route 66, if you don't make it to actually go on part of it, and it would probably, if you tried to do the whole thing, you can get guidebooks. It'll tell you how to do it, but it'll probably take you a good 2 weeks to do all of Route 66, to find all the little pieces of it. That big piece of Americana that is only saved really in Adrian, Texas, and a couple little places. That first picture, when we were under the bridge on our motorcycles, that is called Singing Highway. And there's this little stretch of highway on Route 66. If you go 45 miles an hour, it will play. Do you remember the song?
No.
Yeah, America the Beautiful.
Oh, that one, yeah.
It will actually play it. And the day we were on it, we went a little too fast. We didn't see the sign in time. By the time we saw it, the road was wet that day. It had just rained, and we didn't slow down in time to hear the song playing. But we did go over that little stretch of land. And actually, something with the ridges in the road, or how they made it. If you go at 45 miles an hour, you will actually hear America the Beautiful playing. It's called the Singing Highway. So check that out. That's a really cool thing to check out.
Why didn't they teach me that in school? I would have found it a lot earlier.
They don't make geography fun in school. I used to hate geography.
Oh,
Now I love it because I'm seeing all these places, and now I know where they are. And
talk
what's
about
there,
a field
and
trip, huh?
That would be great. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll be gone for 2 weeks.
We're gonna learn a lot. We're gonna see a lot. You'll know where Colorado, Utah, Ohio, all those. They talk about the New Yorker's view of the United States. You see New York. You see a little sliver of Jersey, and then you see some mountains in California, and that's that's a New Yorker's view of the United States. And boy, did we find that this country is gorgeous. There's so much in every state. We just couldn't get over it. Which states?
You know, every state has a guidebook too.
Yeah. What
You know, a
states?
tourist guidebook.
What state surprised you the most?
I don't know.
tough.
Utah, Wyoming. I don't know.
I think Utah surprised me the most.
Yeah.
I just thought, okay, it's, you know, mountains or something I didn't know. And there's so much to see in Utah. It's a really, really beautiful state. So that one surprised me the most because I just
Wyoming
didn't
was
expect it.
cool.
Wyoming was really beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. We can't decide our
Yellowstone.
favorite. We still, I don't know. New York is still our home.
Some waterfalls in Idaho. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful. I know I'm spoiled with the beach. I've got to have an ocean beach. I'm spoiled. So at the end of, we showed you the Grand Ole Opry last week, and after we did the Grand Ole Opry is the road we had waited to ride. It's called the Tail of the Dragon. It's Route 129 is the number.
129. Yeah.
And it goes between North Carolina and Tennessee. So we rode this into North Carolina through Tennessee.
We took it south. Right.
Yeah, and it has 318 turns in 11 miles. And every biker loves to do turns because that's the fun part, is when you can lean into the turn. And that's us. People are there taking pictures of you. You can get them at the end. And that's us riding on Tail of the Dragon. And what did I forget? Were you going to say something? You
No.
nudged me? No.
So after we get to the bottom of this, well, we had to slay the dragon.
Oh, at the end, when you get to it, at the very end, there's a dragon there. There's a literal dragon there. There it is. And you get little swords. So someone took this picture of us because if you make it down the dragon, okay, you get to slay the dragon next to the gift shop there.
A lot of people try and do the dragon a little too fast, and that's very challenging.
Yeah, it's got a bad reputation for people trying to do it too fast. But if you do like a normal, like 40 miles an hour on that, and you're doing the turns, it's just beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful.
Now, you have
road.
to remember something, too. We were in mountains as high as 12,000 feet. You know, the Rockies, the real mountains in the country. We come back here for the hills, and,
They're hills.
you know, the Tail of the Dragon said that we got to the bottom of it, said, that's it. Then a friend of mine also said the same thing.
Yeah,
You
they
know.
had always said it's a really, really challenging.
It's a little overhyped.
But
So don't be afraid of it. Go do it. Just
do
don't
it.
go crazy on it.
That's it. And what we found out when we got to the end of Tail of the Dragon is that road continues. There we are on the side of the
some
Tail of the
beautiful
Dragon.
views.
And after you finish that particular road, it continues for like another 100 and something miles. So we just went on to that road. We ended up doing over, I don't know, 200 miles of turns that day of beautiful roads. Just it continued on like the Tail
There's
of
a
the
little
Dragon.
waterfall that we were able to drive under and go stand behind. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you do the Tail of the Dragon, there's also a road at the end.
We found that restaurant
I think
too.
it's 28. We found a great restaurant there. It's a really beautiful spot in the country. And we'll talk about the parallel road, the Cherrahola Highway that we did on another trip when we went to Tennessee. Yeah. That's also beautiful.
The
really,
British
really
Parkway
great.
we did.
So now we're going to give you, as you probably saw in the earlier pictures, our friend Bob came with us for the first 3 weeks on our trip. That's our friend Bob. Bob is such a dear, dear friend. He helped teach me how to ride. Besides Curtis, he was the first person to really have faith in my riding. And he used to every year put together not only weekend trips, but he put together a whole week-long trip, a weekend trip, and then a whole week-long trip. And anyone who wanted to go, we'd have 5 or 6 of us. He always invited me. I always went. It was usually me and the guys. And he would take us on some of the most challenging roads I have ever ridden. And he had such faith in me that I could do it. And he really boosted my confidence and taught me a lot. And we love him dearly. And I had written a song right about the time, about a year after we took the trip together, he passed away from cancer. And had he not taken the trip with us, he never would have gotten to do his dream trip, was to go cross country like he did. And I was writing
That was his last big trip.
That was his last big trip. And I was writing a song called Are There Bikes in Heaven? And he died right around the time I was recording that. So I renamed the song "Are There Bikes in Heaven" Bumpin' Bob's song, because that was his nickname, Bumpin' Bob, from when he was a
Race car
driver. And I wrote this song for him. So the song is called "Are There Bikes in Heaven," Bumpin' Bob's song, and it's a tribute to our friend Bob, who we miss.
I was cruising along my favorite road, the parkway by the sea, enjoying every second when a thought occurred to me. What on earth could be better than this? Two wheels on a sunny day. And I wondered, are there bikes in heaven? Is there an angel highway? Are there bikes in heaven? Someone asked a while ago. Because he said, if there ain't, I'm not sure I want to go. Heaven has the perfect roads. They are paved as smooth as glass. Never crack a rim on potholes. Never have to stop for gas. Are there bikes in heaven? Someone asked a while ago. Because he said, if there ain't, I'm not sure I want to go. Saturday and the weather's always fine. No waiting for the snow to melt. Leave your heated gloves behind. Yes, there are bikes in heaven, any style that you want to ride. And like on earth, you'll always have lots of angels by your side. Lots of biker food. Your carburetor will get lots of air even at that altitude. Are there bikes in heaven? Someone asked a while ago. Because he said, if there ain't, I'm not sure I want to go. But till then, whenever I'm on two wheels, there's a touch of heaven here. There's a touch of heaven.
That was our Bob. Yeah. He
He's a
had
dear friend. We miss him terribly.
an outrageous sense of humor, as you can see in those pictures. He just was so much fun. He always had a cigar too. And I usually rode right behind him. So I could tell where he was. I could close my eyes because I just followed the cigar smell. He was wonderful. We miss you, Bob.
He was some character.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun together.
We
We went
did.
a lot of different places too.
We
Did
did.
a lot of riding with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we're just we're regular people, all right? You got to know that. And, not everybody rides motorcycles. We understand that. Some of my friends like camping, and they bought campers, and they do it that way. Now, on our honeymoon, we were going to camp, and then we figured, you know what, this is our honeymoon. So we splurged, and we stayed in hotels. Some of the hotels were very nice, Some are better than others. But you can really spend whatever you want to spend on these trips. You can go camping and keep it at low cost. You put your own tent up. You can get a camper. You do it that way. You can stay in hotels. There's cheap hotels, expensive hotels. So the range, anybody could do this trip. You don't have to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
You can get a trike. No, you take a car and a camper or whatever.
There are plenty of
prefer.
times we just buy fruit and peanut butter and jelly and a loaf of bread, and that's our, whether we're in the car or on the bikes. And there was a time when we would put the tent and the sleeping bag on the back of the bikes, and we would go and we'd find a KOA or someplace, and we would camp for the night and do it that way. You don't always have to go out to eat. There are plenty of places you can stop and go to a supermarket and buy some fruit or we did one time in Sedona, as a matter of fact, we went to a Whole Foods and we bought a pre-made chicken, and we did that for dinner one night. And there's lots of ways that you can cut corners. There are supermarkets pretty much wherever you go.
Also, you had that giant steak in Wyoming. So
We'll talk about
it
that.
It didn't even come out on a plate. It came out on a cutting board. You got to see everybody's heads turning around as it brought to the table. She ate the whole damn thing, too. Was that 64 ounce, 58
I don't
ounce?
know what it
Huge.
was. It was
Unbelievable.
Good. It was good.
So you could do a trip like this, no matter what your income is. All you have to do is want to. If you want to, you could even get a big jar of peanut butter and jelly. Bread's cheap. Get on the road and go. You got your protein right there. You got some sugar in your jelly.
And when we went, Bob would plan these trips, these weekend trips.
And we've done that.
And
Right.
and we would stay at these national or state camps, and they
State
would have
campgrounds,
they would
right.
have little cabins that would have 4 or 5 bedrooms, and we would all chip in for that, and it was a lot cheaper too, doing it with a lot of people doing it that way. So there's a lot of ways if you look into it. Like Curtis said, if you really want to do it, there's ways you can do it.
You just have to want to.
You just have to want to.
And why wouldn't you? This
So,
country is beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
So,
So God
good
bless
luck.
America, and we hope you do. We hope we've inspired you, and we will talk next week. We have a special episode next week. It's not going to be about our trip. It's about something else that happened when you say yes to an opportunity. So God bless you all, and we'll see you next week.
There was a dream, such a dream.